Hey guys, it's Jsnow with what you should know before playing ESO. So I'm going to get right into it. I am normally an Xbox player, so one of the most important things is upgrading your mount in this game. So you get your mount at level 10, so I leveled this guy to level 10 to show that you just get it automatically. You can claim it, and you can get your mount, so we're just going to claim it. And to toggle your mount, just hit H. And now what you're going to see is, this is really slow. Like, this is such a slow speed, it's not even funny. So how do we fix this? There are a couple of ways. So the first thing you need to do is go to any stable master in a major city. So most major cities have a stable master. You'll see the horse thing. So right now we're at happy, healthy horses. Talk to the person, go to view stable, and then go to riding trainer. And you're going to have three options: speed, stamina, and carry capacity. Speed and carry capacity obviously explain themselves, and stamina is basically how long you can sprint with the horse, and so you have to walk a bit for the horse to regain stamina. So I will say, if you're not buying ESO Plus or any subscriptions, or you're worried about inventory space, then go for carry capacity. So you want to click that, and then you'll have to wait a day for it to go. It resets at a certain time each day, but it's basically you can only do this once per day. Stamina is usually the last I go for because it doesn't really matter, and there's also a skill, talent at the end game where you can get unlimited stamina. And then speed is very important for PvP because if you want to do Cyrodiil PvP, you're going to be doing a lot of horseback riding, and speed is pretty much a must. So if you're really into world PvP type stuff, always go for speed first. That's how it works in ESO, and you can start this as soon as you start the game. You do not need a mount to start doing this, so just start ASAP. It also does not transfer to each character, so each character has to separately level up. So if you have like 20 characters or whatever, you have to log into each and every character to do this. Now there is a trick to get 30% mount speed, which is a must-have, and a lot of people, a lot of new players don't even know about it. Like, I didn't know about it when I first started playing this game. But basically, once you hit level 10, you'll get access to the Cyrodiil War World PvP zone. And what you want to do is do the tutorial. So for this, usually go to below level 50 because things are crowded. And then we go to Ice Reach and enter campaign. So what you want to do is you enter the queue. Now, depending on what time it is, it's either going to be really full, but you should get a pop-up message. So here you go, we got a pop-up. So as soon as you enter Cyrodiil, I don't know why I got a XP from that, you want to go start the beginning quest immediately. So you're going to head over here, talk to the first person you see.
You resemble a leaf. Your path begins with these,
and then it's going to ask you, what if I don't need training? Now, do not talk. Depending on which alliance you are, it's different. But whatever NPC tells you to skip. Oh yeah, you also gotta travel to the correct gate. So there's two gates you can go to. I'm not gonna explain world PvP, but basically there's two main gates for each faction. I mean, two main like mini camps for each faction. So you basically get sent to the other one. And whatever you do, do not talk to the Grand Warlord or whoever it is that says skip training, because that means you'll miss out on the quest, and you'll have to level up your, your assault skill that you can get from this, your PvP skills. So right here, this guy says, I don't need battlefield training, we're not going to talk to him. So instead, we're going to go to... So once you get to the siege area, do all the quests here, and you level up with alliance points in PvP. These also give you skill, skills, depending on how many, alliance points you get. So just do the tutorial. So once you start the tutorial quest, you'll get an Alliance 4 skill line, and there's two of them: Assault and Support. So basically what you want to do is you just want to complete the tutorial to get to Assault rank 3. So as you can see, I didn't even do anything, I just started the first quest, and I'm already at Assault rank 2. So you get to 3 by completing the tutorial, and you want to take the passive ability Continuous Attack. So it's a PvP ability with PvP buffs, but the bottom line of text applies to everywhere in the game that you can mount. So you gain Major Gallop of all times, increasing your mount speed by 30%. So next we have crafting. So I'm not actually going to talk about crafting, I'm just going to talk about the researching part, because there is a time limit on it, just like training your horse speed and stuff like that. So for each thing, like clothing, blacksmithing, woodworking, you'll have a research department area. So under research, you can learn different traits, and this will allow you to make the traits later on any weapon you want, as long as it's researched. Problem is it takes forever. So your first item that you want to research, you get one research slot per skill. So its clothing has a separate research slot, blacksmithing has a separate research slot. You can get more slots by leveling up your blacksmithing or etc. So what you want to do is you can find your trait, and then you pick an item that has that trait already. So any item that you have on you that has a trait can usually be researched, and just make sure to remember that if you do research the item does get destroyed. So my first research of a mace will take 6 hours. Now the problem here is it basically goes to like 20 days plus eventually. You also can't do multiple items at the same time that are of the same class. So for example, I can't let's say I unlocked all 3 slots. I can't research 3 maces at once. I can only do 1 mace at a time. But if I do have 3 slots, I can do 1 mace, 1 axe, and 1 sword. But as you can see, this is 6 hours and it keeps continuing, and you have to do this for every single trait, for every single thing, weapons and armor. So yeah, it might be a couple of months before this is done. You do sometimes get some research with things from your daily login rewards for free, so that does help speed it up a little bit. But otherwise, it's gonna be a while. Is it necessary? Not really, but if you're looking to make gold or just make weapons on the fly, it's pretty much a must-have, and you should get started pretty much as soon as possible, because it's gonna take you at least a month. It's gonna take you a couple months, which is, it absolutely sounds horrible, but that's just how it is. Now for pickpocketing and lockpicking, it's all put together under the skill Legerman, and to unlock this you just gotta steal something and sell it to a fence, or launder some money, or basically pickpocket somebody. So with Legerman, it's really hard to do in the beginning because you don't have enough skill to really start pickpocketing. So the easiest place to level this up as easy as possible, I don't know if it probably is the fastest, but because of the limits on leveling up that are in place, it's a little bit slow. But basically you want to head to the Glenura, I probably butchered that name, head to the Daggerfall Way Shrine. You should have this unlocked immediately once you complete the tutorial if it's your first time playing. And then go to Daggerfall, and then you want to go to the top left, and you want to go to the docks. So what's so good about the docks? So docks only have 1 guard. So if you do want to attempt at pickpocketing, the guard only takes a route. I'll do it exactly how it kind of does it. It follows this path, goes up to about here, but it doesn't go past this point, and does not go down the stairs or down the ramp. And then she also goes around here all the way to the top up here, and then she will stand right here and for a couple of seconds or a minute or so. And then she can also path right into here, coming from this way. She doesn't come from this way. She only or he or she, whatever, the guard only comes from this way. And then we'll stand about here, where you can kind of sneak past through if you're coming from the docks, but I usually just wait for him to leave. So pickpocketing, as you can see, certain NPCs are harder to pickpocket, so right there, 20% chance is absolutely terrible. And of course, if the guard catches you, you either pay up or it tries to kill you. It's kind of easy to run away from the guard, but if you're a beginner, it's not. It's as simple. Now, if you want to go hardcore easy mode, you're going to see these 2 ships right here. So, on this ship, there is an NPC that paths up and down really quickly, and this ship is pretty much empty. So what you want to do is you either go into either of these 2 doors. There's a door over there. Both ships have a door on both sides, so there's 1 door in the back and 1 door towards the front, and then each have a basement, or I'm probably using the wrong terminology here, but it has a lower level, and on the lower level there are no guards. So right here I can steal as many mints and other useless stuff. Wow, I'm actually getting a lot of actual useful stuff. Some wheat, oh yeah, and greens. So you can steal everything in here over and over again by just changing zones or by heading back to the Daggerfall Refuge, which I'll show you in a second. So now you want to go to the bandit refuge, or whatever you want to call it. So in Daggerfall, it's right near the edge of the, what do you call it, right near the edge of the docks. And you'll see this little grate, and you can head in here. And this is where you can go and level up your, what do you call it, your legerdemain. So what happens is you go to the fence. So right here, you go to the fence. And you'll have two options. So you can sell, and you can launder. Launder means you get to keep the item. The item basically becomes a regular item. So if the guard catches you and you get locked up or whatever, you won't lose the item. Sell is obviously just sell. So you get experience for every single thing you sell and every single thing you launder. And there's a... Oops, I don't want to look that in chat. So items laundered and items sold are two different capacities, or two different limits per day. You can increase this by leveling up your legerdemain skills. Now the last thing, for anybody who wants a speed level, now of course this is an Elderscrolls game, so I suggest doing the story, but that's what most people do. But once you get to end game, or if you already did this story a couple times, you might want to skip through that by using XP scrolls. But there's two things you can do to level up faster if you just want to get to end game as soon as possible. So the first thing is the most common one, is the Alkir Desert Dolmen run. So if you don't know how to get to Alkir Desert, the way that I know of is to go to Glamnora. You should have the shrine unlocked. Go to the docks, and then go to the left right here, and it should be and then travel to Bankarai, the boatswain, that's an interesting word. Azurfath. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce these names, but basically you talk to her, you travel to Bankarai, and then you talk to them again, and you can travel to Alkir Desert, which will, whoa, I don't want to travel there, which will put you in Senetal, and so it'll spawn you around here. So you want to go to these things called dolmens. Now, if you don't have the mount or whatever, this might take a bit, but it's pretty worth it because it's the most laziest, easiest farm to do as far as leveling. If you just want to AFK level, or if you don't want to really pay attention. So you'll have 3 dolmens. So if you look on my map closely, there's probably better maps on Google Maps. But you want to unlock the Way Shrine and then go to the dolmen. So we have 1 dolmen at the bottom, 1 near the top, Hollow Waste Dolmen, and then we have the Tigonus Dolmen, if I said that correctly. So if you already visited these places, you'll see a swords crossing one of the dolmens at pretty much all times. That means that's the one that's active. And basically what people do is they run back and forth over and over again to each dolmen, clear it. It's like a 15-minute thing. But the other way to level is to find a good mob farming grinding spot. So the only spot I can tell you about right now that I usually use, but I don't have it unlocked on PC since I usually play Xbox, is in Malabel Tor. Is a public dungeon. So what is a public dungeon? So a public dungeon looks like this. This one's Badman's Hollows in a, what do you call it, Glumbra? I definitely butchered that. And what do you call it? Each of these public dungeons are meant for multiple people, but you can do it at any time. Oh, here comes the wave. Look at the wave. So yeah, the dolmen event is active, but what do you call it? The public dungeon in Malabel Tor with like 1 XP scroll or anything is way faster than the dolmens, especially if you have a companion by buying the DLC. I don't really talk about much about DLC here, but DLC, I think the last 2 ones or whatever have companions in it, and they're just basically partners that are really OP when it comes to overworld story content, and it'll allow you to solo most things in the game. So if you use that in a public dungeon with an XP scroll, you'll be able to blow through basically the whole game really quickly, other than of course raids and stuff like that. Trials, sorry. Wow. Raids and trials, but that's pretty much it. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. I haven't done YouTube videos in a while, so it may have been a little bit of a jumbled mess, but I figured I might as well make a video. Look at my legs. The standing legs. So if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like button if that even works anymore on YouTube. And I hope you guys enjoy Elderscrolls.